Yeah, let's hope for the best here. This car, a lot of people pass it because it doesn't have that much power to get going. You know what it is also? It's not necessarily the car's fault. I've been driving the Mustang and I'm used to that gas pedal. And I don't want to like jack it. I don't want to push this thing because I'm kind of afraid. I've just driven 46 miles with it after the car was sitting for like 2 months. The brakes were getting rusty. Yeah. Just very nervous when you haven't driven something in a while like that. And I'm used to the Mustang with the V8, so when I feel like vibrations and stuff, I get real nervous, because any car that doesn't have a V8, you're gonna feel some vibration when it like comes down to an idle and stuff. So it's like a little unsettling. Even the Hyundai I rented, the brand new Hyundai Tucson, that had vibrations because it's a 4-cylinder. It wasn't as smooth as the Mustang engine, and it, you know, I trusted it, being that it was a new car. When I felt something, I'm like, okay, that the thing's brand new, it's under warranty, not gonna have a problem. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick on the main road here. I'm not playing games tonight. My sister called me up and she's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm on my way. It's just taken me a long time. And I was saying in the other video, it's a good thing I stopped at T-Bell because I have some food now. What if something happens with the car and you're in the middle of nowhere, you know? I'm just got to get used to this thing again. It's a 6-cylinder inline 6 turbo diesel. And because it's a diesel, it vibrates a little more too. That's the other thing. It was belching smoke though. That was a little unsettling. And I don't know why it was doing that, because I just cleaned the intake manifold out. I wouldn't think it would be doing that so quickly. I don't know why it's doing that. I will check the oil too. But the good part about this car, it has a feature where if your oil level gets too low, there's a light that comes on the dash. And I've actually had that come on, and it's right at the bottom of the operating range. So that's kind of cool. They must have known this car uses so much oil. That's why they put that special light in. Okay, my headlights are working. That's a good sign. All my lights hopefully are working okay. I should have checked the brake light in the back. No pressure, mind you. No stress. Whew. Man. I was stressing. It's hard enough driving, then to have to worry about the car. Yeah. I'd be afraid to take this car off of Long Island. That part I'll tell you right now. Well, you know, any car you got, if it's got miles on it. Did I mention this almost has 300,000 miles on this car? Yeah, now you know why I'm nervous, right? And it being that the air conditioning was acting up, it was doing weird stuff. I heard the belt squeak. I was worried about the belt system. It has one serpentine belt, and when I first got the car, that actually fell off right in my driveway. All of a sudden, it was hard to steer the car, and the brakes weren't working. The power assist was off. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Turned out my belt fell off. The last owner had the car, it was practically booby-trapped. He knew when to sell it. I had to get a whole power steering pump system put in. Well, I did it. I had to buy it, find the stuff on eBay and MacGyver it. Yeah, he had it all doctored up. It was ready to fail. And then the alternator also went out. So that's why you can tell I'm a little paranoid about driving it. the belt tensioner is kind of loose. It needs, I have a new part, but I haven't replaced it yet. There's a little bit of play in it, so it wobbles just a little bit. Let's hope. I don't think it can fall off though. I think it's working sufficiently. But that's why I'm not gassing it to get out here. You know, I'm just taking my time. I'm only going like here, like around 40 miles an hour, 45. Plus, they don't put many street lights out here. Nope. This is a road trip, baby. This is like a Sarasota Tim adventure right here. Except he's got brand new stuff to do it with. That's the thing. There's less drama when you have brand new stuff. I don't even know if he popped the hood open when he did his trip. If he checked the oil. He just drove that thing. And the new cars have these tire monitors. You can see what your pressures are right from the dash. Yeah, this one, I topped the pressures off before I left today. There's no technology like that on this one. I do think, though, you can buy it aftermarket. What they do is they put a little Bluetooth transmitter, I'm not making this up, inside the tire somehow. They mount it to the rim inside where your tire is. Yeah. I bet you they sell aftermarket. I've seen this when I was getting my tires changed one time. I saw the guy was talking about a sensor inside the tire. I think that is how the original equipment cars even use it. It sends a signal to your info center through wireless. Because think about it, how could they tell? It's got to be sealed in the tire because that's spinning around. How else would you? It would take an elaborate fitting to keep the air. It would have to be right in the hub where it turns to keep the air, to get a reading on that pressure. So this is Jamesport, Long Island. Yeah, we're on the east end of Long Island here, guys. My commentary has been off tonight because I've been under stress. I apologize. I am out, for new subscribers especially, I live on Long Island. It's part of New York State, hence the name New York Dan. But this is way out here. This is the furthest east you can go in New York, basically. And we're out in wine country here. And I'm going to be posting. We're going to do cool stuff out here. You're going to see the beach. Yeah. The beach, wine country. We're going to check out the Hamptons. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. Thank God my car is getting me here and I'm not like stranded. Jeez Louise. 64 degrees out here tonight. You believe that? It's either feast or famine. The temperature's been so damn hot last week. Now it's cold and I have the heater shut off in the car with that valve, so I can't even get heat as I drive here. I cannot get heat. It's gonna be warm enough. It feels good in here. Yeah, it was actually freezing when I was driving on the expressway. The air conditioning felt too cold. I didn't dare touch it though. I wanted to give it a good run and not like mess it up. A lot of this stuff seems to be very dicey. It's like on the fritz. Here's a farm stand right there, a little farm stand. We'll do more video out here when it gets to be daylight. I'll give you guys a good video. The headlights work pretty good in this car, actually. I think the last owner put in some kind of an HID headlight system. They're pretty bright. Yeah, it seems to be running pretty good here. It's saying that I'm getting around 35 miles per gallon, if you can believe that, on these back roads here. 35. For a big car like this, that's pretty amazing. But yeah, the old saying is, a cheap Mercedes is the most expensive car you could possibly own. That's because if you want to keep it running, it's going to cost you, especially if you can't do the work yourself. Just the parts cost a lot, even if you work on it yourself. Just the parts. And yeah, you know what? People don't sell these cars unless there's something wrong with it. Yup. That's what the deal is. No one's going to sell this if they have one that's running well. The only time they'll sell it if they're afraid something's going, if they're afraid it's going to break, something's going wrong with it, or like the owner I bought this from, all this stuff was like booby trapped, ready to break. Plus the car had no air conditioning and the heat was stuck on. Yeah, try driving that around. That's why he was selling it. Yeah, hopefully I felt like my power was like cutting out there, but I think what's going on is I'm actually going up a gradual hill and I'm not used to pressing the pedal so much. Like, you have to really press this pedal and then a few seconds later it responds to the input. It has an inline 6-cylinder turbo diesel. Now actually I should slow down a little here. I'm going through like a town. I believe this is Mattituck. Yeah. There's a cool bar. What else is going on here? 68 degrees. Yeah, my car temp says 66. There's a pot pie place. A little shop, custom apparel. It's very scenic out here. You'll see during the day. Handy pantry. That's kind of like your 7-Eleven or Wawa. No gas station though. Okay, here we are. This is Mattituck. We're going around this bend here. Don't want to speed. They monitor the speed here. Eastern Front. What is that? Brewing Company. Looks pretty cool. That's what this has become out here. It's wine country. They have beer brewing. They have wineries. There's the funeral home. I've been there. Not in the casket, as a guest. Unfortunately, well, fortunately not in the casket, but yeah, the old joke is everyone's dying to get in. Yup, the local funeral home. Yeah, it's taken me a dog's age to get out here tonight. Several hours. I've just been taking my time though. It will be good once I'm out here. Look at this, $319 for regular, $415 for premium. Yeah, it gets expensive out here. I don't have to worry about that though, guys. You know why? This car has a range. I have the tank was topped off. Actually, the needle moved down just a little bit. And this is the first time I'm driving this where the gas gauge actually is working. It's not gas though, it's fuel. It's diesel. It has a big tank. It holds something like 26 or 27 gallons. And supposedly, especially if you're driving highway, the range on this car is something ridiculous. I think it's close to 700 miles. Yeah, try that with an electric car. I saw a Rivian truck on the expressway, and a matter of fact, he didn't want to go too fast. He was probably worried about the batteries. You know how much range he had? I pulled in front of him on the expressway. I could tell it's a Rivian because it has weird lights. The pattern of the lights. Yeah, he was probably pissed off that he was behind a diesel-powered car. I was just cruising along. And I don't know what it is. I was on the expressway when I first got on. A car went by me in the next lane. I was going like 65, and they were like beeping at me or something, or pointing at me, or I don't know what that was about. It was freaking me out because I'm already nervous something's wrong with my car. I was like, what's going on? Am I leaking fluid? Is there oil coming out of my car? Why are they doing that? What's going on? I think they may have been thinking that something was wrong with the car because there was some smoke coming out of the exhaust. Yeah, until it gets up to speed, you know. I don't know what was going on. It made me nervous. But nothing, the car's been running great. Once it got up to speed, I don't see any smoke in the back as I'm cruising. I didn't see any leakage. Yeah, I've driven 56.6 miles now. It seems to be working. And now I have the air conditioner off. I can feel it has more power, definitely. That's what was going. That's why I was like, this car, something's off. I'm like, it doesn't have the right amount of power. Yeah, that's what's going on. The air conditioning was taking up extra power. I haven't driven this car with the air conditioning on. It's never worked the whole time I've owned it. I got it working for like one day, and I was driving it around town, or a couple days just around town before, and a line let go, a seal let go, and the refrigerant came out. What is this guy doing here? What's going on? That's a bus, not a tow truck. Now the light changed. I don't know what the guy's doing here. You can't make this up, guys. Don't crash into my car either. Yeah, I was on the expressway, and there was a big like Chevy Suburban or Escalade, and it had a Georgia plate on it. I don't know what was going on. If the guy was on drugs, he was in the lane next to me, and he started drifting over. There's your Prevost. Yeah, I'm just gonna go around them. It's not a school bus. I don't know what's going on here tonight. It's a strange night. So yeah, he was in the lane right next to my car, and I'm driving along, and he's getting up near the front of my car, and he's just drifting over. No signal. He's just drifting over. I think the guy was on drugs. I was like, what the heck's going on? I had to swerve into the shoulder of the road. Very strange stuff. I'm telling you, if you have one of those autopilots. Oh wow, look at that light. It's an auto body place of all things too. You would think that was an after hours joint with that kind of lighting. Some kind of a club. But it turns out it's auto body, unless they're doing something under the table at night. Maybe they have some dancers in there. So, yeah, the autopilot, there was a large judgment awarded to someone that their car crashed. It was a Tesla, because the jury or the court found it was the fault of the autopilot. Now, it seems to me all these cars now are coming with an autopilot, at least as an option. But here's the whole problem. You're supposed to keep alert and be ready to like grab the wheel. Well, I don't know about you, but when I'm driving my car, just like I'm doing now, and I'm talking into my phone, I have it mounted up there, don't worry. I am like driving the car without even thinking about it. It's like automatic anyway. And the problem is, if I was on autopilot right now, I probably wouldn't be paying attention to where I was driving. I would ease on back, and I would, I really think that's a dangerous option. If they say you have to be ready to take over, what's the point of autopilot? If I gotta watch the road just like I am now and keep an eye out and have my hands tense and ready to like either keeping them on the steering wheel or ready to grab the wheel, what is the point of even having an autopilot? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. They're making a big deal out of it. Who knows where it will stop? I mean, it's coming. We know it's coming, where AI is going to control everything. And pretty soon, the cars, a human might not be allowed to drive a car anymore. The cars will not have a steering wheel. They will just have an AI controller. And you'll have a chip implanted in your brain, and you're just going to think, oh, take me out to the east end of Long Island. I want to go to this address. And the car will start up. The seatbelt will automatically strap you in, and you're just going to be like a hostage in that car. And hey, you better hope that technology works correctly, and that thing's going to drive you out. You won't be able to touch the controls. There are no controls. Yeah, you notice how Tesla's getting rid of, like, their dashboard's just like a piece of wood, and they have a screen that shows you everything going on with the car. There are no gauges. Yeah. They're getting rid of a lot of stuff that's in, for instance, this car in 1993. I have this whole dashboard with all these controls. I have buttons. I have a fancy steering wheel. Pretty soon, the car will not have anything on the dash but just a panel. And maybe it will have a screen so you could like watch TV or something while you're driving. Well, the car is driving you, I should say. Yeah. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for that. I like driving my car, and I don't like all this technology, this stuff that's getting over the top. I really am uncomfortable with it. I'm like, when I see like vintage cars, when I watch on YouTube, a lot of car stuff on there. Yeah, when I see vintage cars, I get jealous sometimes. I'm like, imagine going in the showroom and you buy a car brand new, right? Like that, like a huge car, like from the 70s or something. You don't have to learn all this crap. They give you the keys, and the rest of it is just like a button for the air conditioning. You have a radio, you have a stereo sound system. Everything is simple. You don't have to freaking learn all this stuff. Yeah, I get jealous when I see that. I'm like, I wish I was in those days. I could get me a nice car. I didn't have to do all this complicated stuff in life. Everything's like an assignment now, like a mind-bending homework assignment, you got to read up on how to do things. You got to like look to learn how to like program all this junk. And then half the time you program it, and then your phone or whatever, it loses the connection. It doesn't work right. You have it all set up, and a few months later, all of a sudden, you got to like redo everything. I don't know. It's definitely a complicated time to be alive. And unfortunately, we haven't seen anything yet. I bet it just keeps getting more and more complex. Yup. More and more, it's a scary path that we're on. Alright, there's the other funeral home. I've been there too. I am now out in Southold on the east end of Long Island. Here's the Catholic Church coming up here. I'll film it during the day so you guys can see better. But yeah, I appreciate you riding along with me. Hit the thumbs up. Your friend New York Dan. I'll see you guys soon. Over and out.